All right.
Five lights, and away we go. The Heart of Speedy had a really good start, and he just breaks into that corner now alongside ItzTriton going around the outside. Almost put to the wall, but I think they keep it clean. Still side by side now into this S section. They are still side by side. Triton now lurking behind them, trying to maybe find his luck.
Yeah, Triton spun in the right-hander, the whole field going past him. He did absolutely the right thing and stayed exactly where he was. So this time Flashy down the inside into turn 3. Ray breaks very late, keeps the position, nicely defended.
Give Flashy a superior run, but the Slipstream was really powerful!
Yeah, he did. He's going to be in real trouble here. Sergio, I think it's going to be past before they ever get to turn 1.
Yeah, a lot more straight line speed there. At the moment, Michael on the inside, Synergy around the outside, lock up. But early turn in by Synergy, or Michael just turned in late.
Jesse spun in turn 2, he's facing the wrong way. Another fastest lap of the race from Triton, so he's pretty quick on those super softs.
The free choice of tire! Meanwhile, Synergy going into the wall, and wow! He just drove into the way of El Sergios.
Yeah, there wasn't much he could have done in fairness. It's always going to be, oh, he's got such understeer, out at the wall. What happened to Triton?
I don't know, but there's yellows in sector 2, and yeah, he lost it in the castle sector.
Oh, so
oh no!
Actually stopped.
Ouch!
The castle section.
Brutal just had a moment because of that.
Oh, Ray hitting Jesse, who is a lap down, and then Rivos getting collected as well into the wall. So Jesse, well, he just dived down the inside for no real reason, Ray. That one was on him, I'm afraid. Speedy's not giving up yet, though. Into turn 3, you got DRS, Slipstream down the inside. Is he going to be able to brake late enough? Ray does brake late, turns into him! And
no
again,
damage, though. Now we're on the outside for turn 4.
Ray just turning in for... Well, he knew there was a car alongside.
And Ray is now trying to take revenge down the inside of turn 3. Will he lock up again? No, clean pass there.
Up the inside,
Speedy almost losing it on the outside. Will he stick his nose in for... Oh! Ah, he shouldn't have...
And once again,
that's
he turns in on another car.
That's a move I would do. Don't do that. That's not the place where you should be overtaking. But he tries down the outside. That's... As I just said, no place you should be overtaking the wall. Yeah, the wall tightens up the track there, and that's why you shouldn't go around the outside there.
So I wonder if Speedy's hitting.
He does.
Yep,
both.
He does.
Are they double stacking? They actually are. They are double stacked. So Tomash was the loser of this situation.
That's very bad news for Tomash.
Yes.
Unfortunate. So what's the most interesting fight now? Michael and that Vance, I think. Vance is P6 right now, made his...
Oh, and Michael!
Hard! Oh no! And then OceanChief and Rivos, oh,
that might be a safety car something, because there's a lot...
in the castle section, both Renaults involved. Under 7 people lost their front wing, I'm sure.
Oh, OceanChief and Saint both stay out in Rivos. Wow! He just overtook him in the pit entry, basically.
Oh,
migrating host.
Yep, I've got that too. Oh
no. Oh no. I'm this stage completely confused.
Well,
but
one
I
thing we
think-
definitely know is that Sergios has won.
Yes, I think the top 5
We
are
think we know, we think we know that Ray has come second, Copy has come third, and Anonymous has come fourth. So congratulations to all of those drivers.
5 lights, and away we go. The Haas of Speedy had a really good start, and he just breaks into that corner now alongside ItzTriton going around the outside. Almost put to the wall, but I think they keep it clean. Still side by side now into this S section. Yes, still side by side. Triton now lurking behind them, trying to maybe find his luck.
Yeah, Triton spun in the right-hander. The whole field going past him. He did absolutely the right thing and stayed exactly where he was. So this time Flashy down the inside into turn 3. Ray brakes very late, keeps the position, nicely defended.
Give Flashy a superior run, but the
Big
Slipstream was really powerful!
Yeah, he did. He's going to be in real trouble here.
Yeah,
Sergio, I think it's going to be passed before they ever get to turn 1.
Yeah, a lot more straight line speed there. At the moment, Michael on the inside, Synergy around the outside, lock up, but early turn in by Synergy, or Michael just turned in late.
Jesse spun in turn 2, he's facing the wrong way. Another fastest lap of the race from Triton, so he's pretty quick on those super softs.
The free choice of tyre! Meanwhile, Synergy going into the wall, and wow! He just drove into the way of El Sergios.
Yeah, there wasn't much he could have done in fairness. It's always going to be, oh, he's got such understeer, it clouted the wall. What happened to Triton?
I don't know, but there's yellows in sector 2, and yeah, he lost it in the castle sector.
Oh, so
oh no!
Actually stopped.
Ouch!
Castle section.
Brutal just had a moment because of that.
Oh, Ray hitting Jesse, who is a lap down, and then Rivos getting collected as well into the wall. So Jesse, well, he just dived down the inside for no real reason, Ray. That one was on him, I'm afraid. Speedy's not giving up yet, though. Into turn 3, you got DRS, Slipstream down the inside. Is he going to be able to brake late enough? Ray does brake late, turns into him! And
no
again,
damage though. Now we're on the outside for turn 4.
Ray just turning in for... Well, I mean, knew there was a car alongside.
And Ray is now trying to take revenge down the inside of turn 3. Will he lock up again? No, clean pass there.
Up the inside,
Speedy almost losing it on the outside. Will he stick his nose in for... Oh! Ah, he shouldn't have...
And once again,
that's
he
like...
turns in on another car.
That's a move I would do. Don't do that. That's not the place where you should be overtaking. But he tries round the outside. That's... As I just said, no place you should be overtaking the wall. Yeah, the wall tightens up the track there, and that's why you shouldn't go around the outside there.
So I wonder if Speedy's hitting.
He does.
Yep,
both.
He does.
Are they double stacking? They actually are. They are double stacked. So Tomasz was the loser of the situation.
That's very bad news for Tomasz.
Yes.
Unfortunate. So what's the most interesting fight now? Michael and that Vance, I think. Vance is P6 right now. Made his...
Oh, and Michael!
Hard! Oh no! And then OceanChief and Rivos. Oh,
that might be a safety car something because there's a lot
in the castle section. Both Renaults involved. And several people lost their front wing, I'm sure.
Oh, OceanChief and Sane both stay out in Rivos. Wow. He just overtook him in the pit entry basically. Oh, migrating host.
Yep, I've got that too.
Oh no. I'm at this stage completely confused.
Well, but one thing we definitely know is that Sergios has won.
Yes, I think the top 5 are
we think we know that Ray has come second, Copy has come third, and Anonymous has come fourth. So congratulations to all of those drivers.
5 lights, and away we go. The Haas of Speedy had a really good start, and he just...
Hello and welcome to SLR. You're joining us for Season 2, race number 4 at Baku, as we're now just joining Triton on board for qualifying session. There's 16 minutes left. The guys have just started their out laps. Joining me on commentating is TipsyBob.
Hello everyone.
Yes, so we're looking forward to an action-packed. We already had the Tier 2 race earlier in the week, and you commentated on that yourself. So, what can we expect from this session, do you think?
Well, I think obviously Baku is a difficult track, so DNFs are to be expected. I'm actually quite excited to see Little John in this race, because in the Tier 2 race he was showing mightily fast pace. And I'm interested to see how he does up against the likes of Triton and
Yeah, it definitely is going to be interesting. Just to give a bit of backstory to that, Little John, he was a Tier 2 full-time racer, and I was actually due to race today in Baku in Tier 1, but I've stood down from that seat, and that has given Little John the opportunity to kind of show himself, show his pace in Tier 1, so we're really interested to see how well he does with the big boys. You'll see that I actually I have a car there. It's retired on track. That was a bit of a noob mistake for me. So a bit of a ItzTriton just clipped his front tire there in turn 1. That is not going to help him at all for this lap. That's gonna
Triton was having issues, I seen, just in the practice session before that. He seemed to be struggling as well, so this maybe has carried that through to the main.
Yeah,
we are, of course, Chief, we are of course missing, at the moment, we're missing Astro Boys and Hugos, 2 very fast racers, but I think they should be joining us at sometime mid-session, I think, Walt.
Yeah, hopefully, they're just running a wee bit late, so we should see them join later on. They're going to be at a disadvantage though, because they're not going to have access to, well, park primaries on, so they won't be able to have access to any setup, so they'll just have to use the default setup. So they'll be compromised somewhat, but we both know that they're both very fast drivers, so it's going to be hard, or very interesting to see how they get on. As Little John goes fastest with 137.9. That is pretty pacey. Not sure what tire he was on when he set those. I think it was Ultra Soft, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the moment. Yeah, so Little John 137.9 on the Ultra Softs. Little John did get pole on Thursday past there in the Tier 2 race on an Ultra Soft, but he did a 137.243. So he's already faster than his Tier 2 race.
Yeah, and look.
No, he's not. Sorry, I got confused there with IS. No, he's 137.9, so Little John has definitely got a lot more pace to show.
As you said there, Jason just said 137.19. That's faster than last year then, isn't it? Last season?
Yes, I think I'm not sure actually. I can't remember the times, but I think it's pretty close to the last season.
Yeah, so we might even see a 136 here if we're lucky. I think the fastest lap time last season was a 137, but a lot of improvements being made since then.
Yeah, there's been a lot of evolution in terms of driver performance and even the setups as well. I have seen some of these boys as well done a 36.9, 36.8. So it could be likely that we could see, into the high 36.
Yeah. So just to explain then, we've got Manku is making his first drive in Tier 1 as a reserve, as is Atez, and I believe Onion Barge is also filling in for Nef Luke. See Nef Luke's in chat actually, so shout out to Nef Luke. Yeah, if there's any further audio issues, let us know. I've increased Tipsy's audio a little bit, so hopefully that will fix that a little bit. Kopi is still in the pits, so he's not showing his hand just yet. He seems to be just sitting out for the meantime. We've seen that from him before though. He's very confident. He's kind of doesn't like to show his hand too early.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not unfamiliar from Kopi. Him and his friend Ethnic, our last season's champion, I did notice that they seem to leave it late before they run their times, and usually they set their absolute fastest lap on their last go basically. So there's more to come from Kopi later on in this qualifying session.
Yeah, we have a few drivers out on their hot lap at the minute, or out laps anyway. Keyboard Magnuson, or the league's only keyboard user, And it doesn't seem to slow him down though. He's consistently within the top 10. And a regular face in SLR races.
So in terms of tyre strats, I don't know. I haven't got a heads up yet in terms of the weather. It should be a dry race, I would imagine. If so, it is possible to go ultra soft to super softs, but it obviously takes considerable tyre management. We've seen Edge do it on Thursday with fantastic management of tyre, got him up to P2, I believe. Otherwise, guys in soft tyres should be pretty well fixed. If they can get high up in the top 7, they get owned at the moment, is sitting nicely in P5, but I think he would have to seriously improve that time if he wants to sit there.
Yeah, so Keyboard Magnussen's about to start his hot lap. He's on ultra soft at the minute, so let's see how he gets on as he approaches the start-finish line. And of course, the Baku has the longest straight of any F1 circuit on the calendar at the moment, I believe. Also has DRS on there, so we're going to see a lot of overtakes. It's the main area that you're going to see drivers doing overtakes. The rest of the course, especially Sector 2 and Sector 3, you don't see many overtakes there, and if you do, they tend to be a bit messy because it's so tight around those sections.
Yeah, I think I said to you before in practice session, this Baku's a bit like Monaco, whereby you're kind of just racing the track. Although, as you said, the main straight is the place to go. I'm actually on the main straight at the moment with Lil Jon, as he's starting his next timed lap.
Okay.
Just going to run on board with him at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's coming up to this first corner. You want to he'd be having his eyes on the braking zone. You don't want to run too wide here and clip that curb, but he does it just on the limit. The second corner is another one. The curbs are very difficult to negotiate in this game. You clip them, they always throw you wide, and unlike some of the more modern tracks where there's runoff areas, Baku is very old school, whereby if you make a mistake, you're in the wall and then it's game over.
Yep, and we're seeing a yellow flag come up there. Sector 2 that's gone now, so that will help Little John. He seems to be dialed into this car right now. It seems to be stuck, glued down to the track. Kind of compromises exit there a little bit, but it shouldn't hurt too much. It's just a short straight there. As he enters into the notorious castle section, so I'm thinking we'll see a few DNFs in the castle section that we wanted to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see a lot of action in the castle section. Problem is that if something happens to one car, you just get this kind of chain reaction. As Lil Jon is coming up to what I believe the most difficult braking zone in the entire track. We caught out our championship winner last season, Etnik, and he hit the wall, I think, with lap 21 and lost second place.
That's right, yeah. That was one of Etnik's first races there, so it took him a while to get up to speed, but when he did, he was, as you know, he was in a league of his own.
Yeah, he completely outclassed everyone in the league. He was just so dominant. Sergio gave him a good run for the money, but Etnik was just so consistently fast, track after track, that it was a formality, but you know that he was going to win it. As Little John does improve.
Yeah, but we see Jason is actually looks like he's retired from the session, so a yellow flag came up briefly there. I wonder what happened to him. And we've got two of the new guys, Onion Barge and Atez, currently in 3rd and 4th, with Triton in 5th. Very interesting. We're seeing a lot of different tire selections here. Some guys going for soft, some going for ultra soft. So the top soft runner at the minute is Triton, followed by Keeper Magnussen and Kopi. Bansen is in 8th currently with a 139.5. He's on ultra softs. Maybe run on board with him just to see how he's getting on. But I know Bance is he's a very fast driver, so I think he's got a 138 in him, if not 137. So we'll see how he gets on this lap. Looks tight enough so far. A yellow flag in Sector 1 again.
Yeah, just having a quick glance down the current times. Of course, there is just over 6 minutes left of qualifying to go. The tier 2 times, because I seen it, like I said, I was commentating on it, the tier 2 times were much faster by quite a margin than most of the guys currently in tier 1. Again, there is 6 minutes to go, so I'm sure they'll improve, but I mean, I think the boys in tier 1 should be concerned about the potential for some heavyweights joining them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what's going to happen over the course of the season. We're going to see some of those tier 2 fast drivers come into tier 1, and vice versa. The slower guys in the tier 1 will hopefully drop down to tier 2, so should even out a wee bit. It's worth mentioning as well that Thimo and Tara couldn't make it today. They've got other commitments. Thimo, I know, he's taking part in an AOR endurance race in iRacing. I believe the track is Road America, so we wish him all the best with his endeavours there. He should be back with Tara next week to commentate, as per usual. So hopefully me and Bob can big boots to fill. They're very experienced commentators, but hopefully we can do them some justice here. Bance is on a, looks like he's on a fast lap. He's on super soft at the minute, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, he's on super soft. Hits the wall there, but nothing too major.
So just to go, not to go back too often, but tier 2, the P1 in qualifying on Baku was 1 minute 37.243, which was Little John, which would have got him where he is at the moment, 2nd place. So that time from Houston is quite significant. Although, in saying that, ACOS did a 137.5 on super softs, and our only comparison at the moment is Bance on the super soft, who's quite a bit off that time.
Yeah, I think he's about to set a time now, so we'll see how he gets on there. Is he going to pit? His DRS open. Looks like he's going to go for... No, he's dived into the pits at the last second there. And practicing a fast pit entry there, just about got away with it. I think he'll have time to set one more time, so we'll see if he fits on the Ultra Sauce. Manku picks a 5th place grid penalty for collision with /LP.
Oh, we missed that now. But someone we haven't mentioned at the moment is sitting currently in 10th. Is, I think, our current championship leader, Get Owned.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if he's having any issues with the track or if he's just doing what Copy usually does and bides his time. But I would expect him to go a bit quicker than that because he's got some serious pace there.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like one of his weaker tracks. I haven't seen him about in practice this week much, so he might not have got practice in. And I think that practice is key for this circuit. You really need to find that rhythm. But yeah, he's still in the pit at the minute, so he's just got that one time on the board with his super soft. So maybe he is maybe this is a strategy play where he's thinking if he's on the super softs and tries to run those as long as possible and switch to the ultra softs, then it's going to be interesting. He's currently in the top 10, so he will have to start on the super softs. I mean, if he stays there. I mean, we've got a lot of cars coming out of the pits at the minute, including Get Owned. Actually, he's back out on super softs, so he will have time for, I believe, one more lap. Yeah, there's quite a number of guys on out laps at the minute. We've got 5 guys in out laps and quite a number already on their hot laps.
See, we've just been joined by Hugo's as well.
Oh, that's great.
Unfortunately, as you did say, Park Ferme is enabled. But it would have been nice to see him and the Astro Boys as well. Would have liked to seen them here because I'd say they could definitely be. They'd be up there, definitely in the top 4 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Hugo gets enough credit. He's a no assist guy, and he's consistently running in the top 10, if not top 5 and beyond. I know he's had some really good performances in 2SRL recently, where he's won a few races.
Yeah, Hugo started off with assists and slowly progressed with them off. It's kind of the thing into SRL that we trying to encourage people to get them off, and it almost seems like the no assists has helped Hugo so much, because he is gone from a pretty fast midfielder to he is now up there. I think he's even won a race, I think, or almost. I think he did win a race.
Yeah, he's won 2, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely, because he's no assists, he would be, for me, probably one of the best racers at the moment in SLR, unless, I don't know if Gedone has any assists on him, but for sure Hugo's is up there for me. There's a safety car on track. I don't know if you noticed that.
Are you kidding me?
Just before the first corner.
I didn't see it on my stream, but I know in the past 3 races on the broadcast team have spotted the safety car just sitting there on track. So I think it's dropping a subtle hint that it wants to make a comeback. So maybe we'll see that for Spain, comeback of the safety car. The Manku has retired. I'm on board with Gedone at the minute. He's, as say, super soft. I'm trying to improve on that 139.8. Let's see, so we've got Little John is retired, so he's happy enough with that 137.4. Kopi has gone into 3rd with super softs, 137.8. That is a pretty fast lap on super softs. Let's see if Gedone can get himself up into contention. It's going to be critical for him for the race. And there's yellow flags, sector 1, sector 2, so, and sector 3.
Also notice Bance is coming around for his final lap. He's on it actually in section 2, coming to the castle section, and he's on ultra soft. So if Bance can rekindle the old Bance of the past, then he should push himself quite high up in this order.
Yeah, we know that when he's on his game, like he's on another level himself. So
oh, definitely Bance is definitely one of the top racers.
Gedone. Do you see that? Gedone 2nd position, 137.4 on super sauce.
Yes, so that's just a fraction quicker than Ecos on tier 2. Ecos did a 137.5 on super soft, so it's nip and tuck.
Yep, and I'm on board with Bance now. He's doing the fast left right. Coming up the DRS zone. Jesse Gaiman retired. He's 13th currently. Bance has been knocked down to 11th, but we'll see how. Oh, he's abandoned the lap. So I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate for him. He's in 11th there, but he will get a free pick on his tires. There'll be fresh tires where everybody in the top 10 is locked in then. So Bayfield was able to go faster. He's now in 10th. Danny Coe was able to improve slightly. He's in 9th. Keyboard Magnuson, 8 for 138.5. Triton, 138 flat. I think he's one to watch in this race. Triton, we know he can be very fast, but you know, going by last season, we know we had that DNF early on in the castle section.
Yes, last season, yeah. I don't think he was racing anyone. I think he just fell victim from the castle section. That was lap 8, and he retired. But also take note, Copy has left it late as usual, and he has done a 137.5 on super soft. So for me, going back from what I've already seen previously, Gedone and Copy have put themselves in a fantastic position for this race win.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm noticing as well, Astro Boy hasn't been able to make it for the session, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a shame. I would have liked to have seen Astro mix it up with these boys, because as we know, Astro Boy is extremely fast.
Hugo, on the other hand, has been able to make it, but as we mentioned previously, will be compromised with a default setup. It's worth mentioning as well, we did the preview or the highlights video of last season's Baku race, and there was a major glitch that basically ended the race at around lap 20 when we got the migrating host error message, and had to take the results from there, as from that point onwards the race has basically went to what's a polite way of saying it, to pot. So Gedone is the top super soft runner with Kopi and 4th on super softs. So Jason is going to want to try to build up a lead quickly, because he's gonna have to pit around. Is it lap 5, lap 6 for Ultra Sauce?
Yeah, usually around about lap 6, you can maybe push it to lap 7, but we're looking at about lap 6. He's gonna have to push big time hard to try and get away from get owned in the super softs. But if he hasn't broken any significant gap, especially by lap 3 when DRS comes into play, and as long as there's no diving in the first corner, I wouldn't be surprised if we see get owned past him pretty early on.
Yeah. And I am experiencing some kind of graphical bug. Oh, okay. I don't know if you're seeing my screen, but I'm actually in a car because I did a new move and did not hit spectate, but there looks like it's Force India wants to kind of enter the cockpit of my car. Let's see, I'll just retire as soon as the formation lap starts in. Hopefully I can just retire and get out of this, but...
Yeah, so we see Hugo's has indeed made it to the race. Again, as you said, not to repeat, but he will be compromised significantly with the default setup. Baku is a track that you really need your own setup, because the default one will not cut it. But he's also back in the Mercedes, which is normally the McLaren driver, so hopefully that doesn't give any confusion. I think the best strategy for Hugo's, considering he has been compromised with the no setup, is just to bide his time and depend on people having conflict, a bit of crashing up front, and just eke the laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a case of damage limitations for Hugo. He's just trying to pretty much get the best result he can. Oh, his Bance is spun on the formation lap.
Oh dear, so he's reset then already?
Yeah.
That's slightly going to compromise him. He's going to have cool tires then. Hopefully he didn't pick up any damage. I'm not sure if he can pick up damage in a formation lap, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I know from previous experience, I did go on the grass in a formation lap, and yeah, it reset me onto the grid with dirty tires, which was fun, to say the least. So I think I've fixed the issue there with the graphic stuff, so apologies for that. We are learning, it's a learning process, but I'm actually watching myself on the AI control my car there, so we are going to see OceanChief in this session, so I guess it's just my final race.
It's noticeable that quite a few people are getting disqualified from the formation lap. I don't know if that's kind of a testament to how difficult the track is. Even on formation, people are having issues.
Yeah, it often surprises me about how many people do not make it to the grid in one piece on a formation lap. It's not that hard, but I know that people are, trying to get a lot of, heat into the tires, or trying to push that a wee bit with the weaving. There's 5 cars there on the grid already, so they must have got tangled up somewhere. As Iason pulls up into P1 position. Okay, here we go. The lights are up. We've got 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we are go for the Baku Season 2 Tier 1 race for SLR. And I've got a really bad camera angle here, so I'll try and switch that out. Oh dear. Yep, so Ason's got round cleanly and into yeah, just past turn 2 there. Little John's right behind him in a Renault and get on. So there hasn't really been any much change of positions. Is there much happening at the back, Drew?
Yeah, Bance has gained. Oh, he's almost lost it again. Oh, and Bance has just lost his front left tire.
Oh,
he
no.
did that in the practice set. He cut the corner too tight and he lost his front left, and Bance is out.
Oh, he's out early. That's horrible for him. He is going to be kicking himself. Although I have done that myself. Did he clip the inside wall on that corner?
Yeah, so he was trying to defend the inside line from Toto, and Toto shot down his right. I don't know whether he spooked him or what, and he just cut in too tight and clipped the corner, clipped the barrier, and lost his front left.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Well, maybe get to hear from him during the race here. But Little John is all over Asen already. With Get Owned staying on the back of Little John, and Kopi's keeping them in sights as well. So the top 5 are separated by around about 2-3 seconds. Triton, I see he's lost position there. Oh, he's sandwiched in between Keyboard Magnussen and Basefield as they go onto the start-finish straight. Wonder if he's going to get a bit of slipstream here off Keyboard Magnussen. Will he make this move? He's no DRS at the minute. He is up to 7th, but is he going to be able to hold it? Keyboard Magnussen is on the inside.
And just sneaking around the back is also Bayfield.
Yeah.
Keyboard Magnussen defends that well.
He's just waiting to see if anyone makes a mistake and pick up position. Little John has actually lost a position to Get Owned, so Get Owned is up to 2nd. So lots of action already on track. But Asen is our race leader currently on those ultra softs.
Yeah, I called it early. That's what I did just before that. Get Owned will probably get Little John. He's just on the better tire for this track, I believe. Definitely the better.
You think Supersoft is better at this time, yeah?
It seems to be, from what I've seen recently, that Supersoft seems to be the better tire to start on. I could be wrong. It's just what I've seen recently. See, the Ultrasoft, it just dies too quick, and then the Supersoft guys just capitalize.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Because I think that's what we're going to see with Jason. He's fast now, but give it a few laps, he might start to struggle. And at that point, Get Owned is just going to be, his tires are just going to be in that optimal range. So, just to recap, after lap 2 is almost over, we got Asen in first, Get Owned is 0.6 behind, Lil John is in 3rd, Kopi's 4th, and Onion Barge is 5th, Atez makes 6th, Triton 7th, 8th, Keyboard Magnussen, and we're getting yellow flags in Sector 2. I'm not sure who that is for, but we're entering a crucial point in the race here as Get Owned sets a 142 fast lap of the race, 142.2. But this is DRS is now open, so starting from just straight after turn 2, they will access DRS as Get Owned opens DRS on Q. He is behind Asen, but I don't think he's close enough. He shows a bit of his car in the mirrors, but he's not close enough, but he is able to make up a lot of time there, so he's right up behind Asen at the minute. Asen's under a lot of pressure right now, and Baku and pressure, it's I mean
a toxic mix.
Yeah, you said yourself, you're almost racing the track, so to actually have to figure in, oh, there's a car off track. Who is that? Jesse
DNF.
Yeah, I just saw him. He's on the start finish straight, so he's retired there. He must have had an issue previous to that with the front wing, and I reckon he's not been able to make it through the fast left right on the start finish straight. I've seen that many times before. You take a bit of front wing and you try and take the you know, that fast left right. It just doesn't happen. You need to lift. So Get Owned is, we're approaching the final corner here. If Get Owned can get a good exit on this corner, he will have access to DRS, and Jason is going very defensive already. These cars are very close together.
We also have a pretty tight fight for 5th, 6th as well.
Yeah, same as
Triton and Atez are going to get the DRS on each other on Onion Barge. Oh, Triton's passing Atez before the DRS, and he's going to get Onion Barge as well.
Oh, double overtake! I love it! I love it. Get Owned is actually taking the lead there as well. Yeah, and he's already got a 0.44 gap to Asen, so Get Owned looks like he has this race well under control at this time. Obviously it's early days yet, and I don't want to give him the commentator's curse either, but he is looking very good. Oh, as Asen tries, yeah, he kind of showed himself up the inside there, but he thought better of it.
Yeah, Jason will be pretty much coming to almost the end of the tire grip on these wheels, so or these set of tires. So I wouldn't be don't be surprised if you see getting owned just gradually taken away. He's almost over half a second already away from him.
And look at Triton, he's already 0.8 behind Kopi. And Kopi and Triton are in good position here. They're in super soft tires. I think Kopi's just patiently waiting behind these top three just to see what happens. And you know, obviously Asen and Lil Jon will have to pit in a few laps time, so he will gain a couple of positions from that. So Kopi could effectively be P2 in a few laps time. As Get-On just hits the wall there on the exit of the second last corner. Not too heavy a contact, so not too bad. Oh, as he slides out of the final corner, that might affect his exit then and his speed up coming up to the start-finish straight. Asen will have DRS, but he is a little bit back, 0.5 at this time.
Further back also, Chief, is Toto, who is coming up to
another retiree, sorry.
Oh, and he just hips the... Toto's going for the overtake with the DRS on Bayfield, as Asen gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, Onion Bargie's out. I'm not sure where he DNF'd there, but yeah, he's out of the race. So we have 3 retirements already, and we're running on lap 5.
Oh yes, Onion Barge, he hit the wall coming out of the double chicane for the main straight, and he's stuck on the left-hand side of the wall.
Asen pitting on lap 4?
Yeah, he's cooked the other softs. The other softs die out so quick in Baku if you're fighting for position, and Get-On just bullied him into submission effectively and cooked his tires. He's also given himself a 5-second penalty, so I think we could reasonably safely rule out Asen for the race win.
Yeah.
But I said Get-On and Copy definitely had the best strat for the race win, and it's looking pretty tasty for Get-On at the moment.
Indeed.
He's extended that lead on Little John 1.5 seconds, as Copy is within the DRS zone now behind Little John.
Yeah, if he wants to make a move, it's going to be now or never, I think.
Yeah, he has to do it now.
Get-On is building up gap up already, so I mean Kopi effectively is what, about 2.3 behind Get-On.
I mean, I think he should pass Little John regardless, because his tires will be dying out if not pitting, which I think he's going to pit as well.
As we see Bance there in chat, he died at T3s. Onion Barge said the ultras were dying on the rears, and that Bance said I was 2 at turn 3. So bad luck for Bance and Onion Barge there, but we call it at the start of the race. This is just a tough track to actually even just finish. Tez is in the pits, and we've got Lil Jon in the pits as well, so Kopi is up to 2nd. Triton is into 3rd, 0.4 behind Kopi. So he's doing great. Effective, we've got another DNF. Well, that's a strange spot to DNF, just after the final corner there, before the fast left right. So that's number 4 DNF as we ride on board with OceanChief.
Also,
OceanChief could score. Sorry, OceanChief could score points today.
No, I was just going to say P6, Hugo's.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, that would be his best strat, to just turn the laps down and don't worry too much about battles, because he is compromised with his setup.
And he's on soft, so he can make those last pretty much majority of this race, and then have a final ultra soft stint and just blitz it.
Oh, so Manku's a 5-second stop go for a severe collision with Asen, and Asen is retired. We didn't see that.
Oh dear, I think that might be Castle, you know. Oh, yeah.
I'm just running on board with OceanChief if I can see where Asen's car is.
So not playing out at all for Asen today.
Yeah, well, as we seen the last time on the Tier 2, for Baku is notoriously difficult track, and just because you qualify on pole does not guarantee you're going to get this win.
Yeah, it was castle section. Didn't see what happened, I assume, but it was castle section where he DNF'd there. So I'm right on board with Triton here. He seems to be one of the closest battle on track. Oh, actually, as I say that, Danny Coe and Slash. Danny Coe's in the pits, so Slash is up to 9th, and we've got Atez in the pits with Manku. So this will be the first set of pit stops out of the way, so we should see, yeah, the positions on track should be pretty relevant now.
Yeah, so the top, what's that? The top 5 on super softs, they're all on 6 laps on their super softs. You can usually get to about 10 to 11 laps on the super softs before you leave the pit. Also the soft guys, Hugo's, Lil Jon, and who else? We've got Slashy. Currently on a couple of laps on their softs. Now I do know that you can run to the limit. You could get about 18 laps on the softs. So they can, his best tactic is to just run deep and switch to probably the super softs or even the ultras.
Yeah, he's hanging in there, 3.3 behind Tutu. Tutu's quite close behind Keeper Magnussen. He's got DRS on the start-finish straight then. Will it be enough? I think it actually will be enough. He seems to be close enough.
Oh no, it's going to be a late move. Keyboard is defending the inside line. You might run him to the wall.
Oh, contact.
Was that touch tap?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tutu's out! Oh no! That's...
He just overcooked it on the exhaust.
And he's retired. Unfortunate.
He didn't need to retire, I don't think. I think that's just clear frustration.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. It didn't seem like that bad a contact either, you know. I thought he was going to do alright there, but...
Yeah, it's just... It goes to what I was saying on the qualifying, and that first corner, if you don't get it right, if you run wide at all, it just throws you off onto the dirty side. You have to avoid the wall and the high curb, and if you hit the accelerator too soon, you see exactly what happens. You just...
Yeah, I have been victim to that myself a few times. You know, you get into that mindset where you're wheel to wheel with someone and you want to get the maximum out of the acceleration, and you just overcook it. So
running on board with Triton coming up to the last main corner before the double chicane, and he's going to get the DRS on him. And just if he gets support to get a good drive, he's actually got a better drive than Copy before the DRS, so this he should catch him. It might be something similar to what we've just seen from Toto, as Copy's holding on at the moment. Here comes Triton now with the DRS. I don't think he's going to make it unless it's a late move on the inside.
Yeah, I think Copy might have turned up the DRS to overtake there in rich fuel mode, because he was eking everything out of that car. Usually it's DRS is OP on that straight, but Copy just managed to keep ahead of him there with a change of position, and as Hugo gets overtaken by Lil Jon. Lil Jon on those fresher tires, just 3 lap old. If Hugo can hold on behind, just on the back of Lil Jon, he should be grand. He should do well in this race, I reckon. It's Basefield, he's in for his, would that be his second pit stop?
I think so. Just looking at Lil Jon, so he's on these 3 lap old soft, so he's going to run to the end, but he's going to need some tire management, I think, to maintain this pace. Triton's a little bit well, he's pretty much same as what he was last lap. It's this last corner here that they're coming up to. It's important to get such a great drive out of that. As Triton nearly loses it there, that's going to compromise. Although he is closer than he was the last lap.
Yeah, 0.4, yeah.
I think he should make it this time. Copy is not the easiest to overtake, though he defends very well.
He's already going for the inside, yeah.
Forces Triton to the right. He'd be looking for his braking zone.
And Copy's in pits, actually, yeah.
Oh, is he?
He just got 8 laps out of those super sauce.
That's very little. You can normally get about 12, I would say. Although, is that his first? Yeah, you can get about 10 to 12 laps on your super softs.
Keeper Magnussen as well, he pitted, I think he only had 7 or 8 laps on those super softs, so interesting. We'll have to see how that strategy plays out.
That has changed the potential for this race now, because originally I would have put Copy definitely up there for the win as well as get owned, but pitting so early, I'm not sure unless he had an issue. For me, it switched over now to get owned to Triton now. It's perfectly placed for this race.
Yeah, I think Kopi, Asen pointed out in chat, maybe going for an undercut. Do you think that's going to work out for him?
Well, he does have the pace. I'm just not sure, to be honest, when we check these times.
Yeah, so Triton, he's going to be aware of that, I'm sure, and he's going to be trying to milk the most out of what's left in these tires as he gets a bit of contact out of the second final corner. Nothing too serious there, thankfully.
But if you're going for the undercut, do you not think he maybe pitted just 1 or 2 laps just too soon?
Yeah, I think so, but Kobe he's great with strategy, so maybe he knows stuff and we don't. And I think, I'm wondering, has Triton got a little bit of damage on his front wing? I just noticed a few times where he's come out of that final corner, he struggles a little bit, goes a bit wide.
Get own called into the pits as well on lap 10. Well, that's pretty much what I was saying, 10 to 12. Well, usually 10 to 11 laps. So Triton, he'll have to pit this lap. If he runs another one, he's going to compromise his position in this race.
Yeah, we got another retiree. Tez is out. I think it's the castle section one more time.
He's going to switch to Danny. Yeah, it is.
That's a bad one. That's a bad one. And Danny had to slow right down there as Tez hadn't ghosted just yet. He eventually did. Manku is coming up to the same spot, so Tez really needs to retire that car and get it off track quickly. So we now have, effectively we have 10 runners left. So everybody who finishes will get points, but I suspect we may have 1 or 2 more DNFs. We aren't even at the halfway point, and already we've got 7 retirees.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's quite a significant number already, so early in the race to have DNF. I think pretty much all of them. I think bar 2 were self-inflicted, really. Although Bans, I don't think it was his own fault. He did get. I think I seen him getting hit a few times at the start.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get to talk to some of the drivers after the race, see what their take on it is. I'm currently following the battle between /LP and Keyboard Magnussen. They're quite close together as they go for the castle section. I wonder if /LP is lining up for an overtake move on the start-finish straight.
Well, someone who is lining up for an overtaking move is Kopi on Hugo's. He's right on his chuff. He's going to get him probably just before the DRS, yeah. Of course, Kopi on 9-lap fresher tires, so that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and Hugo doesn't even attempt to fight that one off. He's thinking of the long game.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's what he has to do. He started last, compromised. As he nearly loses it on that left-hander.
Nice save, yeah.
Yes, just to continue what I was saying there, yeah. He has
sorry, Bob. We've got /LP and Keeper Magnussen off at I believe it's the final corner. Must have had some contact there. Oh, not the final corner. No, this is turn 2. It looks like actually. So I think they had some issues at turn 1. So I think that Slash was trying to overtake Keeper Magnussen, and there must have been an issue there. Both cars seem fully intact. But Keeper Magnussen keeps the position. Slash does seem quite keen to get past him, but Keeper Magnussen's on 2-lap old soft, whereas /LP's on 9-lap one, but he does seem the pace here off the 2.
Yeah, bear in mind that Keyboard Magnussen, self-explanatory, he is on the keyboard, so should compromise him, but it's mightily impressive to be able to race so competitively on the keyboard. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, especially tracks like this where it's, the margin for error is so tiny.
But this battle with Slash and Keyboard Magnuson is the closest one on the track. Oh, it looked like Keyboard cut that corner. I don't see anything showing. Yeah, that looks like he kind of cut that corner to try and break the DRS, but I think it's no much point because Slash is going to get this on him.
And I think there's been a few pit stops up front. Triton has been in for a pit, and I believe Get On the last lap was in for a pit, so we've changed of position up front. Lil Jon now is in the lead by 1.7 seconds. I believe, Lil Jon, do you think will he be able to take these to the end of the race? And I think he will, won't he?
Let me see, what's he, 7 lap old, and there's 8 laps. They will be really badly worn by the end of the race. Get On for me, and Triton even is in a better position than Little John at the moment. Although it does look like that the undercut didn't quite work out for Copy at the moment.
Yeah, so we're at the halfway point of the race. 10 cars left in it, and we're seeing a lot of battles playing out on track, but there's a lot of battles ahead, as we're pointed out there. Little John on 7 lap old sauce. He gets a bit of contact there. Nothing too bad.
Yeah, the closest battle at the moment, Chief, is definitely Slash. He's really right on the back of Keyboard Magnuson as we negotiate the castle section. So Slash will be looking. He'll be planning this a good run out of the last corner to get him on the DRS. He needs to get a bit closer than what he is at the moment. Yeah, it looks like that Keyboard Magnuson almost cuts that corner, and he seems to get away with it. So maybe he's just on the limit. That's what seems to be saving him for this long straight.
It's quite risky cutting that corner as well, because it's a raised curb, so it does unsettle the car quite substantially.
Yeah, you get it wrong, you just send you straight into the wall. Slashy has it set to the max overtake, rich mode, full attack.
Has he got enough to do it? Keyboard Magnuson goes to the inside, defend. Slash too far back, but Keyboard Magnuson locks up. Oh no. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself there. It was his own mistake. It just shows you how much pressure he was under, and it finally got to him. Slash takes that position. Keyboard Magnuson does have DRS, but not able to make the most of it this time.
And it's important to note, as you already did point out, that Slashy is on significantly older tyres. But I'm just on board with Keyboard Magnuson. He is locking up big time, probably ruining that mistake and desperate to catch. He's locked up for every corner so far. He is just compromising his own race with this type of driving style.
Yeah, he needs to regain his focus, get back in the game here. He's locking up massively. It's not going to help his tires either.
Oh, every corner so far, he's gonna need a pit, big time. He's not gonna make these last at this pace.
Hugo's still hanging in there in 5th, 13 lap old. He's on the oldest. Well, everybody's on softs at the minute, which is good for us. Keeps it simple. Sometimes it's hard to track all the tire strategies that are playing out. So everybody's on a fairly even level at the minute, and Keyboard Magson's fallen back massively. He's out of the DRS zone, so that Slash looks to have cemented that position for now. As we see, Get Owned up front he's making some headway against Lil Jon. He's now under the 1 second. He's got that gap down to under 1 second. So if he can maintain that until the start finish, he should be in a good position.
Yeah, I think he's still going to struggle to hold off, especially Get Owned, for the amount of time is left on this track, considering that he is on 9 laps to old softs. Get Owned is on a much fresher set, and even Triton behind him as well. I don't know if he hasn't got it in the bag just yet. I still think Get Owned will catch him.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Get Owned just being patient, nailing all those apexes. He's 0.7 behind at the minute, so it looks like he will have access to DRS. I think the DRS, where is the activation point for DRS? Usually there's a line to
Yes, yeah, so I'm running on with Get On at the moment. So you go around this corner and you'll see the line just about, where is it?
Yeah, there's
Just
it
about
there.
there, the black box.
But where's the point where, you know, you not activates, but you know what I mean, where you know, there's a point before that where it actually
Oh yes,
nominates it for you.
yeah, so it recognizes whether you're within the 1 second, and then only then do you have it activated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure. I think it's either just before the final turn or just after the final turn. We can run on board with Get On to see.
Yeah, he's actually moved up into first position there, so nice move there. But Lil Jon is fighting back as they go too wide into turn, I think that's 4. But Get On is holding that position for now. Lil Jon will want to hold on to the rear end of Get On here so he can get that DRS activated on the start finish straight. He's keeping it nice and tight at the minute, 0.2 off. And Triton will be liking this battle because it's going to help him. He's going to be able to close up that gap as these two play it out for the lead of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Get On, Little John are just blitzing the rest of the field. Well, I think that's maybe an overstatement blitzman, but he was up to almost 6 seconds ahead of Triton. And that has come down now just to pretty much the 5 second. But I don't. The only thing helping Little John at the moment will be the DRS zone. I'm running on board with him at the moment. I'm going to look for this white line to see what the activation zone is. I think it's just after the last corner, or the last bend to the right here. Yeah, it's just on it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So he just missed the DRS. Yeah, he's not going to catch Get On at the moment. He's on 5-lap older tires. I can see Little John maybe dropping back slowly to maybe Triton.
Yeah, I can see that as well. He's already lost 0.5 just on that start finish straight. So he's going to be feeling the heat. That's one thing, you know, we should consider for Lil Jon. Like, he's falling back right now. He's going to want to just, you know, keep it very tidy and manage those tires, but he's going to be aware at the same time that Triton is closing in on him. He has pulled out a bit more of a gap now. He's up to 5 second gap. So if he can manage that for the rest of the race, he is looking good for second position. But Triton, as we know, last season had a really bad time. I believe he spun out twice and ended up, he did not finish the Baku race, but at the minute he is redeeming himself massively.
Yeah, so just running on board with Little John. I don't think he's given up the fight just yet because he's still pushing, but I think the race win is pretty much beyond reach now when you look at the tires, and Get On is just extending that lead. I think what Little John should be now focusing on is, as you were saying, focus on trying to defend this position against Triton and kind of regenerate your battery, manage your tire temps, and wait for that battle, which is inevitably going to come.
Yeah. And there's quite a lot of gaps. I mean, the smallest gap the minute between drivers looks to be around about 2 seconds. So I mean, that's a battle in itself. You know, when you're in a race and there's no one around you, it's almost like, you know, it's so easy to lose your focus. Then, you know, sometimes when you can see other cars around you, it keeps you sharp. You know.
Yeah, I have been a victim to that myself. Whenever you're maybe come out of the pits and you've just got you've actually run quite a good strategy to come out on your own so that you can set some fast-paced times, but then, well, I know I have kind of switched off a little bit, and then you realize, oh my goodness, this guy's catching me, and he was like 3 seconds behind, and only then do you switch. But like I said, before Baku, you're just racing the track ultimately.
Triton's got the gap to Lil Jon down to 4.2. Kopi's fallen off a good bit. He's 20 seconds behind Triton. I'm not sure how that... He must have had issues somewhere down the line because he was very close behind. Like, I know he went for the undercut on Triton, but they were running virtually beside each other, and now he's 20 seconds back.
Yeah, there's not too big a gap between the tires in terms of their pit, but I still... The undercut could have possibly worked, let's say, but he did pit, I think, too early, 1 or 2 laps just too soon. And at the moment, Triton on 6 laps tires and Get On 7. I can't see anyone catching Ghetto.
Yeah, he looks like he may have this race sealed up, but we just never know what's around the corner. As we see Hugo, he's pitted and he's put on super softs. And he is closing in massively on Keyboard Magnussen, who once again is going to be under pressure. And we're just entering into that crucial zone where Hugo's going to have access to DRS. So Keyboard Magnussen may well be a sitting duck right now, as he just got wide there in that final corner, so he's compromised his exit already, and that's before the DRS zone is being reached.
Yeah, I don't know if you're seeing it on your screen, but for me, Keyboard Magnussen is locking up quite consistently. As I said, that is just going to massively compromise his.
Yeah, there's some guys.
Hugo. Oh,
a little tap there, just to let him know he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've already seen Keyboard Magnussen pretty much bottle it with the pressure from Slashy, and we've got Hugo's on super soft, so he's going to be bullying him into submission.
It was some guys. Oh, that was so close. Oh, Hugo is lucky there. He almost got forced into the wall. That's where Bance lost his life.
Yeah, so Hugo should be playing this smarter. He's on faster tires, fresher tires. You can see Keyboard Magnussen is locking up.
Yeah.
I think the safe bet would be to wait for the main straight, unless there's a massive up, because there's just too much risk, especially this middle section, the castle section. It's
Yeah.
don't.
That would not have worked out well, no.
Yeah.
It would have been impressive to see if he pulled it off, but I don't think he would have. Either of them would have come out of that one alive.
Yeah, Keyboard Magnussen is defending his position. He has the racing rights. He does not give up a position that easy. But see there, he keeps cutting that corner, and that is unsettling his car. It also adds to the tire wear as he locks up again. I think Hugo's will get him.
Yeah, he's close up behind him now, so he should be able to get him. Guys in chat are pointing out that there is a bug where, let's see, I think it was Iason pointed out, that you will see lockups even though ABS is on, so it's just like a graphical thing that they're not experiencing it. So what we're seeing might not be what he's seeing, but Hugo, yeah, he's run the outside and he's made that stick, so he's going to want to start putting the pressure on Kopi, who is 7 seconds ahead of him at this time.
So he needs to shave almost over a second a lap to catch him.
Yep, and another battle we need to keep an eye on is Triton, as he has closed the gap to Lil Jon to 3.3 seconds. So he's got 6 laps in which to make up that time, which is quite possible, especially with Lil Jon and those 14 lap old softs.
Yeah, he'll be struggling. He'll be pretty, like Vinny I seen on Thursday, got to 18 laps on the softs and was pretty much pretty much past their peak.
Yeah, so they're gonna be 20 lap old tires by the time he finishes this Grand Prix. Kopi, yeah, Hugo is closing up massively on Kopi. He's already got it down to 5 seconds from 7.
Almost 2 seconds in one lap. Yeah, Kopi, he's pitted on for those softs, maybe a little too early, but then in saying that, Get Owned at the same time, although Get Owned was in a significantly better position. Triton has got the lead down to 2.5 seconds already. See little Johnny still pretty low on his battery. He should be really saving that up, I think, for this battle coming up.
Yeah, what I tend to do with the battery in this circuit is go high on the long straights, and for the rest of the section, either turn it off or go low.
Yeah, I generally wouldn't turn it off really that often. It would just be the low is where I.
Yeah, sometimes castle section I'll turn it off because it's not really necessary there.
Yeah.
Qualifying though, I found a good tip was to use overtake on the long start finish straight, and then just switch off.
Yeah.
You know, ARS for the castle section.
There's even some tracks. I think on Silverstone qualifying, you can pretty much run overtake for the whole thing. Although how much benefit you'll get overtake in second gear, I don't know. As Triton has got it down to 1.9 seconds.
Is shaping up nicely for the finish to this Grand Prix. They've got a yellow flag at Sector 1. Just came up and is gone there. Nothing too serious, I hope. So yeah, this is the closest gap at the minute. It's 1.6 between Triton and Little John.
Now, don't discount Slashy, because there's going to be a mega battle for P2 very shortly, maybe within the next lap or so, and both drivers will be desperate to hang. Well, Triton's going to be desperate to gain a position. Likewise, Little John will be desperate to defend it. In this track, the slightest little touch can end both cars' races, so Slashy could compromise, although 25 seconds back, they'll have to DNF.
Something happened there to Kopi. I think he... Yeah, there's something going on with Kopi. I'm not sure what it is, but he's like 3 seconds behind Hugo's there. I think he's having some kind of issue with his car.
Yeah, he seems to be dropping back massively, Keyboard Magnussen is catching him very quickly.
Yeah, I wonder what that is. Because he's struggling massively with the car. I wonder if that's a hardware issue or is it an in-game issue. But Hugo, that worked out for Hugo nicely. He doesn't even have to work on passing Kopi at this time. Kopi's not doing too good at all.
Yeah. I think we should run on board with this Kopi Magnussen battle at the moment. It's the closest one on track as they navigate the castle section.
Yeah,
Kopi really struggling in that castle section.
Car just doesn't seem right at the minute, does it? It's kind of stuttering as well, which makes me think, is it some kind of glitch? Is he, like screen freeze or lag, or he's still holding on to that 6th position from Keyboard Magnussen, but we're entering the notorious DRS zone here, and Keyboard Magnussen actually takes the position before they even get to the DRS activation zone, which means Kopi should have access to DRS now. Might be able to pull that position back. But even on the straight there, you can see Kopi's cars weaving from left to right.
Yeah, seems to have serious issues. He's twitching his cars. Yeah, I noticed he wasn't very smooth as he normally is in terms of his car control. Yeah, and he's braking very early. Kopi has serious issues.
Yeah, he's going to drop back even further, I think. And we've got Triton. He's got the gap down to 1 second. And we have 4 laps to go, including the one they're on, of course.
Yeah, so I think everyone's going to finish as they are, except this battle between Little John and Triton. Hugo's has pretty much cemented himself into P5, which is a fantastic result considering he started from the back, although there has been quite a significant number of fast drivers who have DNF'd.
Yeah.
Still take nothing away from him. He has arrived last and currently in 5th, so all credit to him.
Yeah, massive credit to him. Yeah, very impressive stuff from Hugo once again. And as you said, anything can happen. It's the last. Now we're on the 3 laps left, and there is a potential battle brewing here between Triton and Lil John. So we get to see how that plays out. Hugo could still. Potentially he could pick up a few positions here, depending on how this works out. Triton is gap's just over 1 second, so the DRS, he hasn't been able to access it just yet. But Lil John on 18 lap old softs at the moment. I know on this track here, the rear tires seem to get the most tire wear, so we're going to see him struggle on exits from corners.
Yeah, I would expect he has pretty much cooked those tires beyond the limit. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold Triton off.
Yeah.
He's just got it underneath the 1 second. We're quite a wee bit from the DRS zone.
Yeah, it's just bordering around that 1 second mark. It's going to be frustrating for him. If he can just get under 1 second for this DRS detection zone, he will be in good stead for P2, which would be quite a finish for him.
Oh, he's got it well under the 1 second now.
Mm-hmm. 0.7.
This is the important corner. He needs to get a good run on it. He will naturally get a good run with much fresher tyres, and he is almost half a second away from him. Activation zone is just round the corner, and this is it. This is 4P2. Can Triton get?
Yep, and Little John goes. He's already gone to the inside. Yeah, he knows what's coming. Triton, I don't know if he's going to get this. It's side by side as they go into turn 1. Triton gets it a bit wide there, but they're still side by side as they approach turn 2. Little John has the inside line. Oh, I did not think that was going to end well for Triton, but he just managed to keep it together. He's got DRS here. Little John's defending aggressively on the inside once more. Again, too wide. And Triton makes a stick. What a move. That was quite impressive there. He was able to just get a better exit, and I think that is the issue with Little John at the minute. His rear tires are just not letting him put down the throttle as much as he would like to. So as long as Triton can kind of pull out a bit of a gap. As we see, Hugo is up to 4th. I think Slash has had an issue.
Slash is on 22 lap old softs. My goodness, he would struggling for grip big time.
Massively, yep. And Kopi looks like he's holding on to the back of Keyboard Magnussen, so there could still be a few position changes here, but Hugo's up to 4th, which is quite extraordinary, I have to say, from last to 4th.
Just to mention on Kopi, I don't know whether he's fixed his issues, but he dropped down to just over a second behind Keyboard Magnussen, and he's now down to 400ths of a second. So either he's got his issues sorted out, or his Kopi spins and he loses some in front of his front wing.
I think he's lost a lot of front wing there. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's not good. I wonder if he will just call it a day. No, he's just letting other drivers pass. Yes, he's retired.
Hopefully that wasn't the case of commentator's curse.
Oh dear. We do not. Yeah, we cannot be held responsible. Slash. Let's see what's happening with Slash. He's 9 seconds already behind. Yeah, he's 9 seconds already dropped behind Hugo. He's definitely got an issue.
Well, he's 23 lap old softs. I mean,
is he entering like, is he at risk getting a puncture at the minute? Like,
I would say he wouldn't be too far from it.
He's standing out for now, so he's obviously wanting to just keep going and risk it all, I guess. He's getting a hard time from Keyboard Magnussen, who makes it look easy. Slash is just nursing this car around these corners. You can just see he's not confident to carry too much speed into each corner. So
I'm just running on board with Get On as he reaches the last main corner. And you would have thought, especially for me, if I had such a 4-second gap, that you would just be coasting the car, but he is not. Ever the racer Get On, he is flat out to the end.
Yes, fair play to him. Yeah, a solid strategy and made it work, and has taken the race victory. So he is going to cement his spot at the top of the SLR Tier 1 standings. So he is the man to beat. As we
definitely.
We're only 4 races into the season. He's already very, very dominant.
Yeah, so early on it was quite clear from qualifying Get On, Triton and Kopi had the best.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Hugo has had an issue. He's been overtaken by Slash. So we didn't see what happened there, but Hugo, he must have had an off. I don't see any damage on the car, but he's lost that spot. So first error we've seen from him all race, cost him a position, but still he finishes in 5th behind Slash LP. So Slash LP was able to nurse that car to the finish and will be happy with a 4th place finish after all his troubles.
Yeah, 24 laps on the softs to get fourth is a pretty decent result. But take nothing away from Hugo's, to go from last, no setup, and banging in fifth place is a fantastic result.
Superb,
but
yeah.
as I said, Triton and Get On had the best strat, and they were definitely the one of the only two really. Copy as well, he put himself in a good position, who I could see we're going to win this. No surprise they're 1-2.
Yeah, congrats to the top three there. And Bayfield as well. We never really got speaking about Bayfield. He had a quiet enough race, but came home in 7th, I believe. So overall, an impressive race. It was very tense at times, and we had a fair amount of DNFs, way more than Tier 1. I'm not sure why that would be. I mean, the quality of drivers in Tier 1 are pretty top-notch, but I guess that's the nature of the track. It's just, even for the top guys, it's a massive challenge just to even finish the race. Just to summarize,
Yeah.
Get Owned. He finished first then, 4 seconds ahead of Triton. And then Lil John in third, /LP fourth, Hugo fifth, Keeper Magnussen sixth, and then Bayfield seventh. Danny Coe as well. We never really get talking about Danny Coe. Another, it looked like he had a quiet race. Brought it home in eighth. And Manku, who is basically a debut driver in Tier 1 as a reserve, finished in ninth. And 10th was Kobe. So unfortunately, OceanChief did not get any points in his final race in Tier 1 as a full-time driver.
I think for me, the big surprise definitely was how many DNFs there was, comparison to the Tier 2, but also the lap times were not as quick. I see the fastest time that was set by Get Owned at 1:40.9. The fastest lap in Tier 2 was a 1:40.2 set by Vinny. So a big surprise there. The less DNFs and faster racing from Tier 2.
Yeah, and I've just brought in Jason. I have given him no warning whatsoever, but I've just yoinked him out of chat there. Jason, how did you get on? Obviously, you had that DNF, so you know.
So
commiserations.
what happened? I wasn't focused when I pitted, like into the pit entry, broke late. Then collided with the pit wall a bit. Wanted to change that they changed my wing and then speeded in the pit lane. So yeah, that was pretty bad already. Got a 5 seconds stop go for that, and going through that lap after pit or the next one after that, the guy, I don't know who it was, he just crashed a castle in front of me, and that was it for me.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Baku, you know, you can, that's it. It makes you pay the price if you lose focus for even a second.
Exactly.
Yeah. How did you get on last season then in Baku?
Last season, I don't really remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I know I finished, but it was the one where we had the bug and it ended lap. I think we had to take the results from lap 20.
Oh yeah, there was something, but I don't remember.
But yeah, so did you catch the rest of the race or?
Yeah, I was looking into it, the stream, from time to time.
Yeah, so it looks like Get Owned he's.
Yeah, he's pretty fast.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement at this point. He's won 3 out of 4, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he is a strong contender for the driver championship.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the DNF obviously happened, but what was your tire strategy plan for the race?
So before the race, I could go ultra soft to soft, or I could go ultra soft, soft, soft. No, ultra soft, super soft, super soft. And I think it was about the same time. Like going one stop was 0.2 seconds faster, so I just went with a 2 stop. And I would have pitted like lap 4 and lap 15.
So 2 stop, interesting, because most people I think were going for a 1 stop strategy. I seem to think that was the OP strategy.
From ultra soft for me it was the same, so I went with 2 times super soft to be on fresher tires most of the time, because I don't like driving with worn tires, like stretching them.
Right. Okay. Tipsy, anything you want to ask Jason?
No, just on the strats. I know Jason was saying maybe ultra softs to super softs, which I know is possible. I've seen Edge doing it, but for me, I think definitely the best strat is the one stop that Triton and Get On did on the super softs and then the softs, because whenever he came out, there was no question that Get On was going to get this. Exactly. And I also did call it that Copy, Triton, and Get Owned had the best strat on qualifying. So for me, it was one of those three, and I reckon that Jason would have been finishing somewhere 4th or 5th with his strat.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will never know. Maybe next time. I'm going to see if we can get a wee chat with the reserve driver. He finished in 9th, I believe. Manku, I believe his name is. Before you go, Jason, can we finally determine how to pronounce your name correctly? Because we probably butchered it about 20 million times.
Yeah, just say Jason.
Jason, okay. Because I kind of go Jason. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that kind of okay?
No, just go Jason.
Okay, no worries. Well, thanks for joining us for the driver interview. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Better luck next time.
Yeah, see you guys.
Also, Chief, I wouldn't mind bringing in Bance to find out what really did happen to him, because initially I thought it was maybe he cut the corner, but then afterwards I seen he did get shunted a few times, and then I seen Toto diving down that inside. So whether that spooked him or did he get hit from the back, wouldn't mind getting some clarification on that.
Okay, can you send me a message, see if we can get him to come?
Yeah, I'll see if
us?
I can get him on.
And I've got Manku here. I'm just going to yoink him in to the chat. Manku, are you there?
Sí.
Hey, how's it going, Manku? You're on the live broadcast at the minute. I hope you're okay with that. But I just wanted to get your take. You had a pretty good race, your first Tier 1 race. How did you find it?
My English is bad. Very difficult. No practice for the race. No comment.
Hey, well, all things considered, I think you did really well. Just to finish Baku in itself is an achievement.
No, me quiero matar. Me choqué solo toda la carrera.
Okay, I'm not sure what you just said, but congrats on your points.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll speak to you later, dude.
I think he was saying that the best two racers were commenting. So Bant says he'll be on maybe about 2 minutes, so we can get maybe clarification on what actually happened to him, because he would have finished pretty high if it wasn't for that. Also, we didn't have Astro Boys as well. I would have liked to have seen him mix it in.
Yeah, that's true. Astro Boy, he was due to attend the race, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. So we'll probably see him return in Spain next week, which is a very interesting circuit. It tends to rain a lot in Spain for some reason, so maybe that's another thing. And we may see the return of the safety car for that one as well. So looking forward to it.
Williams drivers will be driving the safety car, I imagine.
Might be worth mentioning as well, RIP Charlie Whiting. Saw a few guys there with the hashtag Charlie Whiting. Obviously passed away during the week there. Sorry to hear that. Thoughts to him and his family. He was a prominent figure in the F1 world.
Yeah, Charlie was a rock for Formula 1 for about 50 years, I think he's been there. Maybe I'm overcooking that, but he was just the rock between drivers and the FIA, and even for team principals and managers. If they wanted to know anything about the technical rule changes or anything to do with the safety issues, he was the go-to man. And I think there was 3 jobs available, or 3 positions, and he did all 3 of them. So he was an absolute titan in the FIA, and he's a massive gap that's going to be left to fill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to know how many races he actually attended. over his lifetime. It must have been in the hundreds, if not thousands. And he had a very close relationship with a lot of the drivers, it seems, as well. So it's sad to hear.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers put a lot of trust in Charlie, and even if drivers had another issue with another driver, he was the man you went to. I don't see anyone else who could fill that role as efficiently as Charlie did. So he's a massive loss to the Formula One world.
Yep. And it's worth saying as well, we've got Tier 2 race coming up on Thursday at it's 20:30 CET. That will be broadcast live. I believe yourself and Bance will be commentating on that one on Thursday.
Yes, all being well, we should be commenting on it. It's still new to this. It's only my second time doing it, but yeah, I enjoy doing it, the commentating. Hopefully I'm a bit better than that than I am racing. But yeah, all being well, me and Bance should be there on Thursday commentating on round 2 for Tier 2.
Yep, and I hopefully will be making my Tier 2 debut as a reserve driver, so hoping to get some points in my first race. But we will see. We will see. Points mean prizes, and as we both know, points in this league are very hard to come by sometimes.
Yeah, the quality of the drivers that have arrived in SLR recently has just massively rocketed. I mean, when Etnick joined, he was just another level from everyone else. Then, of course, we had Sergio as well. And then this new season, with the make of Tier 2, I was mightily impressed with some of those guys. Akos, Lil Jon, who's already moved up, and Edge were phenomenal. And Bascondini was another guy, and Light Cruiser. They were absolutely blitzing a good bit of Tier 2. I definitely it won't be too long before they move up to Tier 1, and they are going to mix it up. It's going to make SLR hugely competitive league, and it's going to be too elite for the likes of us, Chief.
I know, we're going to have to get some more tiers in order.
It is already too elite. I had to bottle it and jumped out to reserve.
But on the plus side, as a reserve, we can do whatever races we want now in both tiers. So may see us appear in future.
Was hoping to see if Bance could join. I think he's just caught up with a few other things. I don't know if we're going to get him in time before the end of the broad. But overall, Chief, how did you find the race?
Yeah, it was quite intense. It was quite intense. I mean, there wasn't as many battles as we usually see. I mean, I watched the Tier 2 race, and it just seemed like it was constant battles going on left, right, and center. With this one, it seemed more kind of intense and based around tire strategies a lot more, and there's a higher DNF ratio as well. So we kind of called it the start of the race, and we said that, you know, if you can even finish Baku in one piece, you're probably going to get some points, and that was the case today. As we saw, 10 drivers were the only ones able to complete all of the laps in one piece. But yeah, very interesting race. Very much look forward to the next one. Next week we'll have the return of Tara and Thimo, hopefully. But until then, I think that's it for now. If you have anything else you would like to add, Tipsy?
No, not really, man. Just, yeah, as you were saying, it was more tense in terms of strat. For me, the tense battle was at the start, get owned for catching Little John, which going on tire strat was a formality, was going to get him. But especially at the end there, for me, was Triton gonna do enough to get past him? Of course, we know he did. Kind of surprised, as I said earlier, how many DNFs there were, and pretty much most of them were self-inflicted in terms of just how difficult the track was. I think there's at least 2 of the DNFs that were driver error, or, you know, someone coming into contact. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty decent race. I'm looking forward to next week. Unless, of course, people enjoyed our commentary so much that we've kicked Thimo and Tara off, but I doubt it, because they're absolute pros at what they do.
They're top notch, yeah. I was kind of wondering, will people be able to understand 2 Irish guys talking really fast? Hopefully,
Yeah. I was trying to kind of tone it down, but it's just when I get into the groove, it's just churning it out.
Yeah. So for
Hopefully
anyone,
everybody understand it.
for anyone listening, YouTube has a really great feature where it actually annotates videos now. So after a while of processing it, it'll actually give you subtitles. So I would love to watch that back and see how that kind of interprets what was said, and see if it's accurate. But one thing we'll end on this, but we haven't called the driver of the day yet.
Ooh. That's a tricky one now. So, for me, the contenders, thinking back, Hugo's definitely on the list. Coming in last, missing qualifying, not having a setup, and banging that into almost fourth. Of course, he must have had an issue at the end and dropping down to fifth. That's a mega result. Of course, yes, we have to consider that there was DNFs in front of him that helped him. But regardless, to come on to Baku, missing qualifying with no setup, knowing how notoriously difficult this track is, he done phenomenal for me. So definitely Hugo's is one. Triton also banging in second place. He did have a good strat. Plus, we do know the issues he had last season when he lost it in lap 8, and he's had issues on the practice session just before it. He was able to keep his cool and get second place. Be able to keep his cool and catch Little John, because Little John is not easy to catch. He's a seriously fast racer. But I think it's hard to put it past Get Owned. I mean, his strat for qualifying was the best, and he just commanded that. Once he got past Little John, it was just pretty much lights out for me. He commanded that race. So for me, the two I would put up as contenders would be Hugo's and Get Owned. Picking between them, it's a tricky one. I mean, ultimately, Get Owned got the win. I would probably give it to him based on that. Otherwise, if not, it'll be Hugo's for me.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Hugo's as well. I mean, Get Owned, obviously, he's got the accolade already. He's got the trophy, and he got the race win. But I think when it comes to driver of the day, to come from last, like you say, miss qualifying, default setup, and even with the last lap issue he had, to finish fifth is just blows my mind. To see that kind of take place.
Yeah, the more actually I think about it, I think Hugo's definitely the standout driver of the day because for everything we've just commented on. But the fact that it's Baku with no setup from last to get almost, as I said, fourth place, of course fifth, and he only made one error, which would have been that. We didn't see it, but I'm assuming he maybe locked up on that last corner because Slashy had got past him very quickly and made it, I think, about a 6-second gap. So he must have locked up big time around deep. Otherwise, he would have secured fourth from last with no setup. For me, it's got to be Hugo's driver of the day.
Okay, well, speaking of which, we've got a little treat in store. I've got Hugo on the voice chat.
The man himself.
So we have just awarded you driver of the day for that drive, man. We were saying you had no qualifying, you had default setup. You had a few issues in the race, but yes, how was it for you?
On the first lap, I got half my wing removed, so I was driving my whole Sofston with half a wing.
Okay.
And then I was going pretty slowly, and then for some reason, I think Copy lagged out. And I just jumped him. That was it, to be honest. Quite a boring race.
Very modest from you there, Hugo. Like, considering you got fifth. Yeah, we were well impressed. But there was an issue on the last lap. Slash overtook you. We didn't see what happened. Was there an incident there?
I think Slash lagged out earlier.
Oh,
and
okay.
He connected back.
Oh,
so
right.
He got the position.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, we see that a few times with Baku. There's froze up. It seems to have its fair share of bugs, which is unfortunate for such a great track. But yeah, so you just feel like it was nothing special. It was just you just got your head down and try to deal with your issues. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think that further cements the driver of the day. The fact that you had front wing damage for the first stint as well.
Yeah, I think Hugo's has been pretty modest here. I was pushing Hugo for you and get on for driver of the day, but we have to get. I feel it has to go to you. You started last, missing qualifying, no setup on a notoriously difficult track like Baku, and you banged it in pretty much fourth until whatever issue there was, and then the know that you got had front wing damage. It may have been boring for you, but your performance and your result is massively impressive, and that's why we've given you driver of the day.
Unfortunately, you don't get points for that, though. Just a lot of praise.
Thank you.
Just imagine what Hugo's could have done if he was here with his setup. It'd have been a much higher.
Yeah, Park Ferme, man. We'll discuss that during the week because we're toying with the idea of turning off Park Ferme for the races, but I didn't want to do it this race at the last minute notice, you know. So
the only issue of turning off Park Ferme is if it's a dry quali or wet race, or a wet quali or dry race.
Yeah.
Either just removes point of strategy, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. You know, there's kind of advantages and disadvantages, so I will have a wee vote on it during the week. But thanks for joining us for the chat, man. I appreciate it, and great race, man.
Thank you.
Later.
Alright, see.
Okay, so Tipsy, man. Yes, thanks for joining us for the commentary. I think we did a alright job. There was a few technical issues, but we're learning. We're just noobs to this here, so thanks for sticking with us, and we will hopefully catch you next week, where Tara and Thimo will be back for Tier 1, and Tier 2 is on Thursday with Bance and TipsyBob. Thanks again for joining us. All the best now. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.